Crossing the ancient seas. How did the early humans travel to Oceania and North America? The Earth's geography is always changing. It was very different at the end of the Great Ice Age than it is today. 40,000 years ago, the ocean was 400 feet lower than it is now. Large parts of northern Europe and Northern America were covered in ice. The entire country of Canada was covered with ice. Even parts of today's Pacific Ocean were covered by a sheet of ice. Early humans could have traveled on foot from China to Oceania. Oceania was a large section of the Pacific Ocean. This area contains thousands of islands. Early humans could have crossed the ice from Russia to North America. The journey to Oceania. Lower sea levels meant that more of the earth was covered by land. This would have allowed humans to reach many places in the Pacific Ocean by foot. Humans could have walked to the islands in Oceania, such as Borneo. It is less clear how humans made it to Australia. Australia has always been separated from any other land by at least 60 miles of ocean. Yet scientists have found that human remains in Australia from this period of migration. What is the explanation? Scientists believe that early humans may have built simple boats or rafts and used them to reach Australia. Settling into the Americas. Alaska and Siberia were separated by a narrow channel of water. This water is called the Bering Strait. Scientists believe that 15,000 years ago, Alaska and Siberia were connected by a narrow strip of land. This strip of land is known as the Bering Land Bridge. It is thought that groups of hunter-gatherers followed wild animals across this land bridge. They traveled from Russia to North America. When the sea levels rose again, the land bridge was lost. All evidence of humans crossing was also lost. Scientists are now trying new ways to answer questions about these early human migrations. One way is by studying DNA samples from modern humans. DNA is chemical material found in every person's cells. It is passed along from parents to their children. Scientists compare DNA of modern humans with the remains of earlier ones. By doing this, they hope to discover how and when our ancestors arrived in different places. The early humans reached North America and formed settlements. Later humans made their way south. Some reached the Southern American continent. As the North American glaciers melted, groups of hunter-gatherers also expanded farther north. Now let's go to our graphic organizer. And we need to go to box 1.2.2. How did early humans travel to Oceania and North America? Okay, let's go back up to the text. $40,000 years ago, the ocean was 40,000 feet lower than it is now. Large parts of northern Europe were covered in ice. Lower sea levels meant more of the earth was covered by land. Sorry, not cooperating with me. Sorry, it doesn't want to cooperate with me. That's no big deal. This would allow humans to reach many places in the Pacific by foot. So what is our answer to, or what are we going to put in our notes? So we should add 40,000 years ago, ocean 400 feet lower. Large parts of Europe and North America were covered in ice. Humans could walk to islands in Oceania. Alaska and Siberia separated by the Bering Strait. They traveled from Russia to North America. Okay, now I want you to independently answer the question. You can pause the video when you're ready to go to the next page. You can move forward. Flip your sheet over. And we're going to move on to the birth of society. How did the human formations of societies improve the lives of early humans? As you read about early human societies, record information about their government, religion, economics, and art, and cultural values. Early hunter-gatherers most likely began to work together in social groups over time. Scientists have found evidence all over the world to support this belief. Kangera is an area in western Kenya. In Kangera, scientists found stone tools made with rocks. No similar rocks were found in the immediate area, but they were common several miles away. This suggests that groups carried rocks to Kangera in order to create tools. A hearth is a stone fireplace. Hearths were used for cooking food. They also provided warmth and safety. Hearths dating to 80,000 years ago have been found in Israel. This suggests that early humans gathered together at hearths for food and comfort. Scientists also have Lots of evidence that early peoples hunted together and shared shelters in France. Shelters have been found that are at least 400,000 years old. Some shelters are 50 feet long. This suggests that large groups lived together. Scientists also believe that early hunter-gatherers took care of members of their groups. There is strong evidence that people cared for the old and sick. One example is the old man of La Chapelle. Scientists found most of his skeleton in France. The old man was probably about 30 years old, and he had lost many of his teeth. He probably could not have lived so long without help to eat his food. Scientists have also evidenced that early humans buried the dead carefully. Graves have been found throughout the world. One well-known example is at Legar Velho in Portugal. The body of a child was found buried there. The child was buried with pine branches, animal teeth, and decorated shells. In Russia and Italy, stone tools have been found in graves. These items suggest that people believed in life after death. They may have placed tools in the graves of people who were especially respected. The care that went into burial suggests that growth in the size and complexity of early social groups. Okay, go back to the text. We're going to look at the notes that I provided for you, or you're going to fill in your own notes, and you're going to go, hunter-gatherers took care of group members. The way they were buried shows evidence they believed in the afterlife, which suggests bigger, more complex social groups. They joined together for food, safety, and warmth. Please take a moment to pause the video and answer the question, and you're ready to move on to the next section of text. One point 2.4. Hunting in groups. How did living in groups improve early humans' ability to hunt? Living together in groups was also important for hunting. To learn more about how early humans hunted, scientists study the remains found in caves and ancient campsites. Animal bones with marks, chips, and holes provide clues. They suggest these types of tools that hunters use to kill and butcher the animals. The bones also help scientists identify what type of animals the people hunted. For example, large amounts of reindeer and mammoth bones suggest these animals were often hunted. These large animals were most likely popular because they were common in the area. They could provide a lot of meat with a single kill. Other parts of the animal were also used. Animal skins were used to make clothes. Bones were used to make weapons and tools. Hunting tools. Even in a group, hunting could be very dangerous. Early humans used hunting tools like spears and knives. These tools worked well when hunters could get close to the animals. They worked less well at a distance. The bow and arrow would not be invented for thousands of years. Most hunters were injured frequently. Scientists can tell us from the patterns of breaks or chips in the bones of ancient humans. They are nearly identical to those of modern rodeo riders. After some time, fire became an important hunting tool. Some groups of early humans in Europe may have used fire to drive large animals into swamps. They left the animals to die rather than risking injury by trying to kill them. Of course, the fire served other purposes too. It provided warmth and a way to cook. It provided protection from animals or enemy humans. Fire also turned meals into social gatherings. Okay, so let's go back to look at our notes, and we're going to add the details in that they had to get close to prey to use spears and knives. It was less effective at a distance. Hunters injured frequently. Fire became a tool, and they worked together to drive animals into swamps. Okay, so take a couple minutes and go ahead and answer the question. When you're done with this section of your graphic organizer, we're going to tuck it into our notebook, and you're going to come up and get page 2 from me. Okay,